According to the statistics, about 70 to 80% of market right now in Nagaland, that is inclusive of everything, is owned and run by the non-locals. And I'm pretty sure you're not surprised to hear that, right? Because that is a non-fact. We see that every single day you go out in the market, you will become the witness of the particular fact. You don't need statistics to back that up. And with this fact being known to us, there is one question that comes to all of our mind, a very interesting one that we would like to discuss about, right, with our friends and family. And that question is, one day, or let's say over the night, what if Nagaland wakes up to notice or to witness that there are no more non-locals, not even a single one in Nagaland anymore? So that is a very interesting question. In this video, we're going to talk about some topics, okay, here and there, where Nagaland is going to be affected. Whatever I'm going to talk about, that is just based on my research and my speculations and my point of view, okay, perspective. So no official statements are backing up what I'm saying. So here we go. The first one, okay, the first one that comes to my mind is the impact on the economy of Nagaland. The economy of Nagaland is already not so good. Okay, we know that the economy of Nagaland is not so great. However, if the 70 to 80% share of Nagaland, okay, market shuts down overnight, then don't you think that is going to bring a huge, huge impact? Of course, that doesn't mean Nagaland will die overnight, but it will obviously affect us drastically. Now, statistics are backing it up that if that happens, almost 30%, okay, almost 30% of the GDP is going to be reduced. There is going to be a deduction of 30% in GDP. That is a huge deduction, which is going to affect us in ways we cannot imagine. And one of the biggest effect that is going to have on us is the inflation in price. Every single thing will become much more expensive. We are going to be facing a Nagaland where the commoners might find it difficult to survive a single day because our budgets are not enough. The 1 month expenses will become, an expense for 1 week. So economy is going to struggle like anything. That is a non-fact. Forget about us chasing the non-locals out. What if one night they just decide, all of them, okay, they just decide, okay, we are done with Nagaland, let's just leave. Let's just leave. Next morning we wake up, none of them is there. Some of us might think that, oh, that is a great thing because that is what we are trying to do. But practically speaking, we are also a state, okay? And we also have to function. And these things will interrupt the function in a very severe way. So that is going to be the first effect that is going to affect the economy of Nagaland. The second point, okay, the second point that I would like to discuss is the market availability. Now we're talking about goods and services here. Like we know, 70 to 80% ownership of the market. So if this happens, the thing that we're talking about right now, if this happens, then obviously the market availability for every single thing. You talk about food, you talk about, basic needs, you talk about anything, everything is going to be shortened. So how is it going to affect us? Our shelves are going to be empty. Our stocks are going to be empty. You might have to go a couple of days and months and weeks without those utilities that we need. Just like that happened during the COVID, right? I'm pretty sure we remember that during the COVID that happened. The availability of goods, services, the market is going to be drastically reduced, and we are going to have shortage of literally every single product. There is going to be shortage in everything, every single thing that you can think of. You list it down, every single thing is going to be short. The next one, what is going to be the next thing that is going to be affected? That is the imports. Nagaland is an end consumer based state, okay? We don't really have manufacturing done here in Nagaland. So we are basically an end consumer. That means every single thing that we consume comes from outside. It's being important, right? And we are strongly and heavily based on railways and roadways. Transportations are going to become more expensive. Forget about being expensive, it might even become inaccessible. People that are willing to, transport products at a much cheaper rate because their people are already here doing the businesses so that their economy also grows. But since they are no more here, we might lose that favor. So definitely imports are going to become more expensive. So that is going to, bring a huge deduction in the net income as well, because imports are going to become more expensive while we don't have export at all. So that is one thing again. Nagaland should maintain the relationship with other states, not through the people of that are not originally from Nagaland, but through the original people of Nagaland, the indigenous ones. We should be the one to create that relationship with them, so that we don't really depend on the middle person, right? We don't really depend on the middle one. Now, this might be a very debatable topic, but from my perspective, it is going to be affected. The imports are going to be affected. That is the thing. Next one. Okay, next one. Educational field. I'm pretty sure all of you are very well aware of this sector as well. Now you might think, how is it going to affect the education system? Now I tell you, if we're talking about government sector, that is fine because most of the teachers there are locals, our people, right? They're government employees. But the private sectors, the universities, the colleges, the higher secondaries, all the schools, okay, the private schools, we know that almost majority of them, okay, are run, organized, handled, and taught by the non-locals. If Nagaland are to lose, is to lose all of them over the night, that is going to decrease the quality of education in Nagaland by a huge step. Obviously, it will. Okay, it will definitely decrease the quality of education in Nagaland immediately if all of them decides to leave. So that means automatically it's going to affect the educational sector in Nagaland as well. What do you think about that? Because I strongly believe in this point. It is not just about what we eat, what we wear. We are also sharing knowledge with them. We are also sharing education with them. It is an undeniable fact that there are people that are not indigenous to Nagaland, but are providing the quality of knowledge that we cannot lose, afford to lose. That is one thing. And one of the most important factor, okay, one of the most important sector that I want to talk about right now is the groundwork and the labors. What will happen to Nagaland if all the non-locals decide to leave Nagaland over the night? So yeah, I understand that we're talking about the market. It is going to disrupt the market, the economy, the imports, all that. But our daily life, okay, our daily life is also going to be affected in such a manner that most of us in Nagaland, we might not even be able to go through a day without them. They do our farming, they do the constructions, they do the field, they do the household work, they drive, they take care of things, they transport, the logistic is depending on them, the labor is depending on them. Every single thing that backs up the natural system that happens in Nagaland in the smaller scale is mostly handled by the non-locals. And if they leave, who is going to back it up? Because most of those labor and groundwork skills works requires skills. And I talk about this in every video that I make. Nagas, we don't have that. Our people, we don't have those skills to replace them immediately. If they leave, all those gaps are going to be left there, but we might say, okay, it's okay, we will just fill it up. But no, it's not filled up like that. So that is going to affect us in ways we cannot imagine. Now, here, see, that is the answer to all the questions, okay? There might be more points, and I'm very happy to hear that from all of you. I'm pretty sure you will know from your side of the concern. But from my end, that is the concerns that I have and we have, okay? Why are we having this conversation? That is because we are extremely, extremely, extremely dependent. our youth, our market, our education, our economy, the economy of Nagaland is dependent on a factor that can collapse any moment. So, do you not think we should talk about these things? Why are we so scared about the fact that they might immediately vanish? All of them. It's because we are lazy. It's because we are unskilled. It's because we are too dependent on them. We are too dependent. So, how are we supposed to overcome these things? We talk about the economy of Nagaland, right? Let us be the one to set the economy of Nagaland. Why are we giving such a huge, you know, share to them that we, the actual people of Nagaland, the indigenous ones, becomes the liability while they are the assets of Nagaland? How is that going to happen? Let's think about that, okay? I'm gonna leave the answers in your head. You think about it yourself. The market availability. Why are we not, forging our own markets? Yes, of course, now the people are coming up. Nagas have started to enter entrepreneurship and business in a very wide field, but it's not enough. We need more. So that even if all of them gets, removed or vanish over the night, the Nagaland can still function smoothly and efficiently. Nagaland is a peaceful place, and we believe in coexisting. And there are so many of them that have been coexisting with us in a very, very, very peaceful manner, like families. Okay, though they are not from here, that does not mean that we should, treat them different. Our people are also out there; they also want to be treated well. So we have to do the same. Things are changing slowly and slowly, gradually. Okay, but the biggest thing that I can see is that our people being a liability to our own state is the biggest problem here. They are getting a grip on things that they should not. The confidence that they are getting right now is not because they are growing in number, it's because they have a big grip, okay, a strong grip on the neck of Nagaland, in the neck. And where is that grip coming from? It is coming from the economy, it is coming from the imports, it is coming from the connections that they have set up in Nagaland, it is coming from all the assets that they have built in Nagaland. Just a number does not make it everything. You know, a handful of people came and ruled the entire India. It's not about the number, it's about how they set themselves up. We have to start, thinking about it in a more practical way. Stop moralizing everything. Let's set up a stronger market presence. Let's encourage business. Let's encourage entrepreneurship. Let's encourage building networks. Let's encourage building connections. Let's build our own bridges. Let's build our own imports. Let's give birth, train to educated and qualified teachers. Let's create such a place where we don't really become a liability to our own state. And, as funny as it might sound to some people, I tell you this, we cannot survive without them right now. And I do not know if you're going to agree with me or not, but I want to see a Nagaland. I want to see our Nagaland being a place where we walk with our heads high, knowing that we are the one that is keeping it running, understanding the fact that we are the ones that is allowing Nagaland to run as it is running. We don't have to worry about who comes and who leaves, but the fact remains we are really dependent, and this dependency is going to bring us trouble in days to come. So many awareness is going on. I think it's time we think about it. This was my perspective. Thank you very much for listening. It has been a very long video, but I'm glad that you are still here. If you are here, if you think it is important, please share. If you think it's not, then it's okay. And I hope and believe that we will get to talk about these things better again. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again.